To order. I invite everyone to stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Member Cahill, will you please lead the pledge? And I'll ask everyone to remain standing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now invite Pastor Scott Howington from Pleasant Hill Community Church of Wheaton to lead in the invocation.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning grateful for the blessing of living in DuPage County. I thank you for each person in this room as they represent the citizens of this county. I thank you for the many employees of DuPage County that day in and day out care for all the needs of our county. The Holy Scriptures instruct us to pray for all those in authority, that as they go about their duties, we as citizens can live quiet and peaceful lives. And we pray to that end today. As this meeting continues this morning, I pray for each member of the board. I ask that you grant each one wisdom and discernment to govern and manage the welfare and needs of the people of DuPage County. Grant them a heart for justice and righteousness. Grant each one the ability to work together for the common good and healthy compromise, even when there is honest disagreement. Grant each one personal peace in their own lives, satisfaction in the work of governance. May you bless the DuPage County Board this morning. May you bless the many women and men who work day in and day out for the good of this county. May you bless the more than 900,000 people who call DuPage County home today. Almighty God, hear our prayer.
Okay, Mr. Deputy Clerk, please take the roll.
Cahill.
Here.
Chaplin.
Here.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert.
Here.
Dessart.
Here.
Eckhoff. Here. Evans.
Here.
Galassi.
Here.
Garcia. Here. Guston.
Here.
Krajewski. Here. LaPlante. Ozog.
Here.
Rutledge.
Here.
Schwarzy. Tornatore. Here. You.
Here.
And Zay.
Good morning. It is my honor to present my first budget to the DuPage County Board this morning as chair. I am pleased to report that developing our county's budget priorities and spending plan has been a collegial and cooperative effort. I'd like to thank all the elected officials and department heads for working closely with our finance department and county board office. When asked, you whittled away at the expenses and fine-tuned revenue projections. I deeply appreciate the time and good faith efforts resulting in a plan providing vital services in the most cost-effective manner possible. Allow me to individually thank Nick Kottmeyer, our Chief Administrative Officer, Jeff Martinovich, our CFO, Jennifer Sin, and Mary Catherine Wells, our capable Deputy Chiefs of Finance, and the many, many staff members who have devoted countless hours to this process. Today's budget proposal would not be possible without any of your painstaking work. More than 9 months ago, when I stood before you at the inauguration ceremony, I told you we were turning a new page in our county's history. I pledged together that we would make significant, lasting change that impacts people's lives and lifts our residents up. Well, what a whirlwind the last 9 months have been. I can say with confidence that each of you has demonstrated a commitment to this vision. Together, we have volunteered, met with residents, reflected back their concerns, then we acted decisively. This board dedicated millions of dollars to provide food to those in need, shelter to those without a home, more services for those struggling with mental health challenges. We grabbed our hard hats, knocked holes in walls, dug in dirt, and cut ribbons to demonstrate how we will literally building a better future for DuPage residents. At our care center, at the DuPage Animal Center, shelter, for the people involved in our criminal justice system, and for the professionals who serve us at the judicial office facility. We toured the JOF just 2 weeks ago. We saw the new courtrooms and improved facilities made possible by this board's investment. Upon passage of the Safety Act, DuPage County was a leader in the state, ready to comply with mandated changes when they took effect. And thanks to the foresight and planning of the 18th Judicial Circuit, our state's attorney, public defender, and this board, the transition was a smooth one on September 18th. This is just one example of our tradition of good government, our tradition of working together to find the best solutions on behalf of our residents. There's another capital project that demonstrates the leadership and vision of this county board. Our dedication of $15.3 million for a crisis recovery center on our county campus will make an enormous impact. This public health investment allows us to create a model facility for the delivery of desperately needed behavioral health services. Working with our local health department, our healthcare providers, and nonprofit organizations, this center will set a gold standard, providing diagnoses, care, and treatment plans, allowing our friends and family to find their way back to health, work, school, and a productive future. I welcome your involvement, and I'm grateful that you asked the hard questions, listened, and embraced this vision. In 2023, we've planted the seeds for a new chapter in DuPage County. As our projects are realized over the next few years, what other challenges will we face and overcome? It's a question I was thinking about this summer when I visited Ball Horticultural in West Chicago. The global research plant and material company has a presence on 6 continents in 20 countries. I was honored to get to know Anna Ball, the CEO, who took over the family business from a long line of male leaders. You could say we had a lot in common. In the company's demonstration gardens that sunny day, Anna Ball's determination to take her business in a new direction and her dedication to the company's core beliefs resonated with me. I took a picture of them to share. As we plan for fiscal 2024, we too will run to the hard stuff. We will be able to take some new initiatives because we have carefully managed our public funds. DuPage County is successfully navigating the post-pandemic economy. We know that our business climate is positive. Our county unemployment rate hovers around 3%, the lowest among Cook and the Collier counties. As Choose DuPage has reported this summer, DuPage County was ranked number 9 in Site Selection magazine as one of America's best counties for business. Last year, 197 businesses moved to DuPage County or expanded their local footprint, representing thousands of jobs created or retained. One of the first events I attended after taking office was in support of the Greater Chicagoland Economic Partnership. This partnership is yielding leads on new businesses looking to locate in DuPage County, allowing counties and the city of Chicago to work together to provide a home for offices, distribution centers, and businesses who recognize that our region is uniquely suited to serve their needs. Economic growth fuels our ability to provide jobs and opportunity to our residents. But our story is not just told by the growth and prosperity. Our story is also told by the actions we take to serve those who don't feel quite so prosperous. What we do for our community matters. It's making tangible differences in the people's quality of life. This board is making thoughtful decisions regarding the allocation of almost $180 million in federal funds DuPage County received through the American Rescue Act plan. I want to review what we've done in 2023 because it is important to help our taxpayers understand how we've made careful investments, strengthening the services most in demand. This past year, this board drilled down on the needs of residents experiencing food insecurity. Previously, you allocated a total of $5 million in ARPA funds to support pantries and organizations addressing critical challenge. This year, we took a creative approach, setting aside funds for additional fresh produce to be delivered. We created an agreement with the Conservation Foundation to bring farm-raised fruits and vegetables straight to food pantries. Last month, the board approved $1 million in grants to strengthen the infrastructure in organizations providing food pantries, capital expenses such as freezers, vehicles, and other items that will help our partner agencies operate more efficiently to better serve people. My proposal calls for an investment of $1.5 million in remaining ARPA funds to support hungry families. We will focus on expanding partnerships that deliver fresh produce directly to local food pantries. The board stepped up to assist those who are experiencing homelessness with more than $400,000 in grants to DuPage pads and another $434,000 to organizations around DuPage addressing housing instability through the DuPage Community Transformation Immediate Impact Grants. That partnership also delivered more than $639,000 in local community grants to provide mental health services in our communities, benefiting our children and families. In 2024, we will break ground on our Crisis Recovery Center, which will provide more services and help integrate our mental health programs throughout the county. This coming year, I am proposing an ambitious transformation of our HOPE Task Force. I am proposing we increase its funding from $200,000 to $250,000 and rename it the DuPage Council on Strengthening the System for Mental Health and Substance Use Care. This bold new initiative will integrate our vision for mental health diagnoses and treatment plans with our effort to reduce substance use disorder in DuPage County. Because these struggles are so often intertwined, it makes sense to embrace a new mission. I plan to work with community organizations and treatment providers, developing innovative grassroots projects and benefit individuals suffering from mental health crises and those fighting addiction. I look forward to leading this group myself with the assistance of our Health Department Executive Director, Adam Forker. Together, we will work with council members on this new effort focused on solutions. In the next year, investments like these will continue. As we conclude fiscal year 2023, we anticipate a general fund surplus of $13.7 million. My proposed spending plan makes use of these surplus dollars to fund important projects, alleviating pressures on the 24 budget. As we consider initiatives for the fiscal year 2024, I propose the following would come from budget surplus funds. $3 million for facilities management capital needs, moving this expenditure from the 2024 general fund budget. $2.5 million dedicated to affordable housing solutions, bringing DuPage County's total investment in affordable housing to $5 million, which does not include yearly investments under community services such as CDBG and other funded community projects. $2 million for a tort liability fund that any outstanding legal or settlement costs are diverted from the general fund. I'd like to set aside $2 million toward the cost of replacing a 40-year-old heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system here at the 421 Administration Building. This timely investment will benefit our customers and employees for decades to come. As we saw during the pandemic, the newer HVAC system can make a real difference in the fight against airborne viruses and provide overall better air quality. I propose we earmark $800,000 for stormwater management to improve our infrastructure, increasing resiliency and allowing us to protect people and property from the impacts of flooding. I'm allocating $500,000 to a project to design and build sidewalks, improving the Willowbrook Corners community. We will pursue grants and local transition dollars to complete this initiative, increasing safety and mobility for residents. I propose we contribute $500,000 to support the public-private partnership funding the new animal services shelter. As you recall, a private donor contributed $4.5 million to offset construction costs. Now, as costs rise again, I believe we should provide additional dollars to the project, ensuring it will be completed on time. And I propose we add $500,000 to our reserves, ensuring stable service delivery and protecting our county finances against any potential economic downturn or need for emergency spending. We can also offset future pressure on our general fund by earmarking dollars from the interest earned on the $179 million in federal ARPA funds, as we slowly spend down those dollars on capital and other projects. By 2026, we anticipate earning a total of $8.35 million in ARPA interest. To date, the county has earned $3.56 million in ARPA interest. We've expended $1.58 million, leaving a total of $6.77 million available. I propose further investment in the community, which will free up funds for the FY 2024 budget. My budget will utilize ARPA interest totaling $3.15 million to fund the small nonprofit grant program for the next 3 years, 2024, 2025, and 2026. We saw the many social service needs that could be addressed as the applications for this year's program arrived. I believe as we focus on these small nonprofits, we will continue to see compelling applications. My spending plan sets aside dollars to meet these needs. As we examine our FY 2024 spending plan, let's look first at the proposed headcount for next year. My budget meets our changing staffing needs, including several changes requested as we continue to implement the Safety Act. We've responded positively to requests for wage adjustments in the state's attorney and public defender's office to fill open headcount. We're adjusting and adding headcount requested by the 18th Judicial Circuit and in probation. With all the changes requested and made, I'm pleased to say it all adds up to a net increase of just 2 additional headcount planned for FY 2024. Of course, we know our most important investment is in our employees, and our employees put great value on the outstanding benefit and pension plans that are part of their employment package. We heard earlier this month from Marsh McLennan, the agency who acts as our benefit broker and provides competitive information and data on our employee benefit plans. Those plans include employee medical, prescription, dental, vision, and life insurance coverage, including our opt-out bonuses and surcharges. In FY 2024, if everything stays exactly the same, our plan costs are expected to rise in the double digits, more than 14%. Since 2017, we have only adjusted employee contributions to their benefit plans once in 2020. I reviewed the costs and benefit plans themselves, recognizing the need to do everything we can to minimize any increases. We also want to stay as close as possible to maintaining our 80-20 split with employees for the plan costs. Our negotiations have significantly reduced the impact on employees to an overall benefit cost increase of 3.5%. There will be some adjustments to plan rates, but the quality and choice in our benefits plan will remain at the same high level our employees deserve. Knowing that we will ask just a bit more of our staff to offset the increasing costs of benefits, I am proposing a 3% cost of living adjustment for employees to be paid in December of 2023 when the new fiscal year begins. As I told you earlier, we will run to the hard stuff in the next year, and we will. I've provided investments that will maintain our safe communities, strengthen our social service safety net, and maintain healthy fund balances. We are planning conservative spending levels, and we are focused on meeting our financial responsibilities on time or early to minimize debt. It's my pleasure to present a balanced, fiscally responsible spending plan for your consideration. This proposal delivers critical help to residents who need it while making necessary infrastructure investment now to take the pressure off future budgets. Careful planning at this time will set us up for success, not this year, but in 2025 and beyond. I propose a total budget of $601.7 million with a general fund totaling $241.7 million. I propose a tax levy of $70.5 million, seeking only to include new construction growth, as we have done in past years, to equalize the burden on all of us. My 2024 budget proposal assumes we keep the DuPage County property tax flat at just 2% of the average homeowner's property tax bill. We anticipate strong revenue performance next year, which will help us to meet our obligations. Our budget surplus, ARPA and ARPA interest funds will help us make strategic investments in our communities. DuPage County's government general fund balance remains healthy. Our IMRF pension obligations are fully funded for FY 2024, and we have planned for adequate contingency levels should there be an urgent need we must meet to maintain the health or safety of our residents. This budget proposal is now yours to debate and consider. Once again, I thank our staff, our department heads, and our elected officials for their hard work and teamwork. Our county's track record of outstanding service delivery is second to none. Together, we will lead our region and our state, setting and meeting high expectations. Most importantly, we will ensure that DuPage County continues to be a great place to live, work, and raise a family, not for some, but for all. Thank you. Okay, on to public comment. According to our county board rules, members of the public shall be afforded time to address the board. Individual remarks shall not exceed 3 minutes in length, nor shall the total time provided for all remarks exceed 30 minutes. Our first speaker is
Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef.
To Chairperson Conroy, officials, and all present here this morning. My name is Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef, anti-bias activist in Chicago. My organization, Chicago Activist Coalition for Justice. I'm here today to speak before this council with regards to the recent mass shooting that occurred in Willowbrook on June 19th, 2023. Today, the family, Reginald Meadows, is here with me and residents are here with me today. More than 90 days ago, residents of Willowbrook were impacted by terror. As I do in Chicago, I responded as a first responder to support families in time of need. The image on that day indeed left a very gruesome and terrorizing feeling for fear and disbelief. One of the residents who were here with me, Tawanda Carroll, was out now at home at the time where her residence was overcome with bullets. She is a living survivor, and I met countless other families, even the family of Reginald Meadows, that lost his life in senseless acts of violence. May his memory be a blessing to those who love him. Moving forward, I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with Chairperson Conroy, Ms. Olson via Zoom. I learned so much of positive things is happening. However, I made my point of concern very clear that the same response and sense of urgency needs to happen for Willowbrook and residents like it did with Highland Park. It is not enough to see social media tweets, Facebook posts. It's not enough to see and talk about it. It's not enough to just visit. My presence here today is to demonstrate that the rabbi is on the case, collecting receipts and taking names. These families don't need broken promises or using what happened to them as a backdrop for an agenda. These families need results immediately. I plan on contacting investigation leads to get more information possible to call for whoever or whatever law enforcement necessary, like it was for Highland Park. As of today, our governor and Senator Dick Durbin has not visited families like they did for Highland Park. I'm very I am prayerful and hopeful that our elected officials can put Willowbrook as a priority and to show them that their lives matter. As I close, may the families of Willowbrook find peace and comfort, to find strength to restore their lives as it once was. This is my hope and this is my prayer.
Marcia Harris, record of attendance only regarding the Willowbrook shooting. Ashley Miller.
That I want answers not only from me, but for my children. We were the most affected family that this happened to. And it's been 90 days. We still don't have answers. I still don't know where some of his property is. And I just want answers. I've never seen a mass shooting of such caliber take so long to get answers. My kids deserve answers. So I'm here today to not only be the voice for Reginald because his life was taken that night, but I'm the voice for my two children. Because if I'm not their voice, then who will be? And this is something that one day they will be able to Google and to look. And when they Google and they look, I want them to know that their mom stood strong. And I fought for justice, and I would like peace, not only for my family, but for the whole Willowbrook community that this affected. That's all I have. Thank you.
Wanda Carroll.
My name is Wanda Carroll. I'm a resident at Willowbrook. And if it hadn't been for God, I probably wouldn't be here today. My grandkids or my kids. My grandkids come every summer from Arkansas. To visit. Last year, I left my grandson up. I went to sleep while he was still playing TikTok, making videos, looking out the window at June 10th. Well, this year they didn't make it to Willowbrook, and thank God that they did, because had they had been there, we don't know what would have happened. The bullets came through my living room patio right over my head where I normally sit and watch TV. The other bullet came through my bedroom, went through my closet, traveling out through my closet, to my hallway, to my kitchen wall. Had we had been, I don't know what kind of tragedy it would have turned out to be, but because of God, I wasn't at home. My grandkids wasn't here with me this summer. So I just wanted to be heard and here for support for Reginald and his wife as well, because our lives do matter. And I sit home all the time imagining what would have happened if my grandkids had been, if I had been there. I normally work on Saturday, but I didn't go to work that Saturday. So I chose to stay out of town. It was a hard decision that God chose me to make that day, because only He knew what was going on. And I just thank God for that. And I just wanted to be heard, because it could have turned out very tragic. And we haven't heard anything really. Well, no first aid, no support from the management, no nothing but Rabbi Mike. And I'm grateful for that. And that's all I have as well. Thank you.
Talmadge T. Miller Jr., record of attendance only regarding gun violence.
Thank you. And Ashley, please accept our deepest sympathy for the loss of your husband and your son's father. This board is very committed to providing resources and being there for your community. And we share the frustration in the fact that there have been no resolutions to this, and continue to encourage the sheriff's office to make that happen. The board has received public comment via our online portal. Per board policy, These comments were provided to members yesterday so that they could be reviewed, and comments submitted electronically will be provided in the minutes of this meeting. On to the consent agenda. 23-3101 DuPage County Board Minutes, regular meeting, Tuesday, September 12th, 2023. 23-30-13-9-8-2023 pay list. 23-30-33 9-12-2023 pay list. 23-30-76 9-15-2023 pay list. 23-30-97 9-19-2023 pay list. 23-30-27 9-11-2023 IDOR wire transfer. 23-30-18 DuPage County Recorder Monthly Review Statement, August 2023. 23-3100 Treasurer's Monthly Report of Investment and Deposits, August 2023. 23-3102 Change orders to various contracts as specified in the attached packet. I forgot to seek a motion to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Finance and Member Chaplain.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I move on FIR 020923, acceptance and appropriation of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Apprenticeship Expansion Grant in the amount of $125,000.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Chaplin,
Aye.
Childress,
Yes.
Covert, Desart, Eckhoff, Evans, Galassi, Garcia, Justin, Krajewski, Plant, Ozog, Rutledge, Shorzy, Tornatori, you,
Aye.
Zay, and Cahill.
Okay, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021023, approval of the issuance of payments by DuPage County to training providers through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Apprenticeship Expansion Grant in the amount of $40,000.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021123, amendment to resolution EDR 001623 for the approval of issuance of payments to training providers through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Trade Adjustment Assistance Grant in the amount of $5,607.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021223, acceptance and appropriation of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act in the amount of $5,151,280.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021323, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding for the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Trade Adjustment Assistance Grant in the amount of $10,065.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021423, approval of the issuance of payments by DuPage County to training providers and youth contracts through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act in the amount of $2,469,232.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021523, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding for the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, the amount of $150,000.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021623, acceptance and appropriation of the National Forensic Science Improvement Program in the amount of $178,733.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021723, acceptance and appropriation of the Tobacco Enforcement Program in the amount of $6,993.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021823, acceptance and appropriation of the Aging Case Coordinator in the amount of $6,958,254.
Leave is granted, Member Chaplain.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 021923, acceptance and appropriation of the Illinois Department of Human Services Rapid Rehousing Program in the amount of $82,920.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 22223 budget transfers from 9/26/2023 from various companies and accounting units.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 22323, approval of a grant between the County of DuPage and the Ninick Arts Center for the use of ARPA funds for $50,000.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIP 001623, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order issued to Baker Tilly US LLP to provide audit services for various county offices from October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2027, in a contract not to exceed $2,084,340.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
And finally, I move approval of FIO 000623, determining compensation of the public county, of the DuPage County Public Defender.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member
Thank you.
Chaplin. Animal Services and Member Krajewski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on ASCO 0001-23, amendment to purchase order 6434-0001, issued to Hills Pet Nutrition Sales to provide pet food for animal services, increasing the encumbrance by $8,700 for a new contract not to exceed $31,700.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Krajewski,
Aye.
LaPlante, Ozog, Rutledge.
Aye.
Schwarzy. Tornatore.
Aye.
You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. And Guston.
Okay, we'll move on to Development and Member Tonatore.
Pleased to announce that the county has recently received $299,000 from the Illinois Housing Development Authority to help our neighborhood revitalization program, or our clean and lean program, as well as to help us with our affordable housing. I want to thank Paul Haas and the staff for putting together that application and working to receive that money. Moving on, I'll move to approve DCO 45-23, zoning 2345, variation to allow a 6-foot 100% closed privacy fence within 30 feet
Second.
front yard setback.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Tornatore.
Aye.
You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. And Schwarzy.
Member Tonatore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of DCO 46-23, zoning 2348, variation to reduce the front yard setback from 30 feet to approximately 10 feet.
Leave is granted, or leave is granted. Roll call, please. Wait. No roll call. Member Tonatore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move approval of DCO 47-23, zoning 2350, variation to increase the height of a fence in the interior side from 6 foot 6 inches to approximately 9 foot 1 inch.
Leave is granted. Member Tonatore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move approval of DCO 48-23, zoning 2352, variation to reduce the interior side setback from 3 feet to approximately 2 feet for an existing detached garage addition.
Leave is granted. Member Tonatore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I move to approve DCO 50-23, zoning 2355. This was bifurcated by the zoning hearing officer as well as the development committee. Move approval of 1, the variation to allow a 6-foot 100% closed privacy fence within 10 feet of the corner side yard setback, and a variation to allow a 6-foot 100% closed privacy fence within the 30-foot front yard setback. Both of these were approved by the zoning hearing officer and the development committee.
Leave is granted. Member Tonatore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I move approval of the variation to increase the height of a fence within the required 20-foot line of sight vision clearance on a corner from 3 feet to approximately 6 feet. This was denied by the zoning hearing officer, also denied by the development committee. If this board desires to approve this variation, it would require a 3/4 majority vote. So I think the roll call is in order.
Okay. Okay. It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Tornatori,
No.
you,
No.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin,
No.
Childress,
No.
Covert, Desart,
No.
Eckhoff. Evans,
No.
Galassi. Garcia, Guston, Krajewski. LaPlante, Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. 3 voting aye, 14 voting nay.
Motion fails.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Member Tonatori. And now we will move on to Economic Development and Member Galassi.
I move to approve EDCO 00323 amendment to county contract 60270001 issued to Parents Alliance Employment Project to provide services to in-school youth for job training for the Workforce Development Division to extend the contract through September 30th, 2024, and increase the contract in the amount of $123,925 for a new contract amount of $247,850.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Galassi,
Aye.
Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante, Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You,
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin,
Aye.
Childress,
Yes.
Covert, Desart,
Aye.
Eckhoff, and Evans.
Aye. Member Galassi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve EDCO 00423 amendment to county contract 60280001 issued to Parents Alliance Employment Project to provide services to out-of-school youth for job training for the Workforce Development Division to extend the contract through September 30th, 2024, and increase the contract in the amount of $342,643 for a new contract amount of $635,286.
Leave is granted. Member Galassi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve EDCO 00523 amendment to county contract 60290001 issued to World Relief to provide job training services to immigrants and youth for the Workforce Development Division to extend the contract through September 30th, 2024, and increase the contract in the amount of $298,038 for a new contract amount of $488,690.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Galassi.
Thank you.
And Environment and Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair. No report today.
Okay. And now Human Services and Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First things first, I want to commend you on your budget presentation today, especially focusing on those who need help the most, the human services portion of your budget. Want to specifically point out the proud of that you're increasing the funds to what was formerly known as the Hope Task Force, the DuPage Council for Strengthening the System for Mental Health and Substance Abuse. Certainly for continuing the small grant, 501c3 grants, of course, adding more money to affordable housing, but most of all, earmarking $1.5 million for food, which I think is the biggest issue in DuPage County right now. So that being said, I'll move to approve item HSP 6823, approval of a contract purchase order issued to Haggerty Ford to furnish and deliver one 2022 Ford Transit Connect van for the weatherization program for a contract total amount of $43,230. And this is a weatherization grant funded.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Schwarzy,
Aye.
Tornatori. You,
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress. Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi.
Aye.
Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. And Rutledge.
Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on item HSP 6923, awarding a resolution issued to Benovate Inc., doing business as Neighborly Software to provide a grants management software system for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program for the period of October 1st,
Second.
23 through June 30th, 2027, in the amount of $134,000 ERA2 grant fund.
Roll call, please.
Schwarzy,
Aye.
Tornatori. You,
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. And Rutledge.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on item 23-3072 HSP 49A23 amendment to resolution HSP 4923 issued to Spot On Transact LLC for the point of sale system for the DuPage Care Center dining services and other cafes on county campus for the period March 1st, 23 through February 28th, 26 to increase encumbrance in the amount of $54,500, a 114.22% increase.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. And finally, I move on item 23-3094 HSR 58A23 amendment to resolution HSR 5823 to amend the final funding recommendations to small agencies under the small agency grant program.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Schwarzy. Okay, Judicial and Public Safety, Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move to approve JPSP 006423, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Second Chance Cardiac Solutions for the purchase of AEDs and supporting supplies and services for the county campus for the period of September 27th, 2023 through September 26th, 2026, for contract total amount not to exceed $96,811.80.
Is there a question? Member Garcia?
Yeah, just a quick question on this. It's great we're purchasing these. Will there be any training for any of the staff or the electeds here on this new equipment that's going to be given to us?
Good morning. Thank you for that question. I'll defer to Chief Briggs, who's been closest on this procurement.
Thanks.
So there will be some training. Usually what happens is risk management puts together some first aid AED training. And then certain departments have to be trained in AED on a yearly basis.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Member Desart.
Thank you. Will the county board be able to be trained on AED too? I know that I have been trained, but it was several years ago. So we have the option of coming and being trained as well. I think the more people train, the better.
I can talk to risk management, but just so you know that these new AEDs, they'll talk to you, they'll walk you right through it. They're very, very easy to work with.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
As a certified CPR AED instructor, I'll be happy to train this board. I'll talk to the chair about this and get that scheduled.
Thank you, Member Schwarzy. We appreciate that. Okay, roll call, please.
Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. Justin. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress. Yes. Covert. Desart. And Eckhoff.
Okay, thank you, Member Evans, and on to Legislative and Member Desart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, will the federal government shut down? With 1 week to go before the end of the fiscal year, Congress has been unable to agree on a funding extension. So it is Groundhog Day. We go through this over and over again. It's going to affect those most in need, military, elderly. So hopefully an agreement will be reached. Closer to home, I just wanted to invite everybody at 11:30 or right after this meeting is over. We're having Mark Ayers come in. He is the Illinois Director for the Humane Society in the U.S. And we're also having our DuPage County Springfield lobbyists come and talk to us about the fall veto session. Mark Polis and Chip Humes will be joining us via Zoom to discuss that. So you're all invited to the Legislative Committee meeting right after this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Desart. Okay, Public Works and Member Garcia.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. No committee update right now, so I'm just looking to, move for approval of FMP 008023. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Air Filter Solutions LLC to furnish and deliver air filters as needed for county facilities for facilities management for the period of September 27, 2023 through September 26, 2024, for a total contract amount not to exceed $128,262.56.
It is. Did I hear a
He
motion?
seconded.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress. Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
And Galassi.
Member Garcia.
Okay, I move for approval of FMP 008123, recommendation for the approval of a contract to United Door and Dock LLC to provide preventative maintenance service and repairs for overhead doors, roll-up shutters, gate operators, dock levelers, and revolving doors as needed for the county facilities for facilities management for the 2-year period of November 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $209,000.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I move for approval of FMP 008223, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Hampton Lenzini and Renwick Inc. to provide professional architectural and engineering design services for parking lot repairs, future electric vehicle charging, parking spaces, water main replacement between the care center and the DOT maintenance buildings, and additional engineering for sidewalk and courtyard repairs on county campus for facilities management for the period of September 26, 2023 through November 30th, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $220,915.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Garcia. Okay, and Stormwater, Member Zay.
No report, Madam Chair.
Okay, Strategic Planning, Member Covert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm excited to share that we are making great progress on the creation of the strategic plan. Our consultants at Berry Dunn have completed the initial environmental scan and have hosted various community forums. We have received a lot of valuable feedback from the community members, and it will be most beneficial for all of us during the writing process of the new plan. We are now moving into the next phase of the strategic planning process, the discussion on what the board's priorities are and a true conversation about the future of the county. I would like to invite all county board members for a strategic planning meeting / breakout session on October 17th at noon for a 3.5-hour strategic planning session. I am asking for lunch to be provided, so we will see. Noted. This meeting is crucial to the strategic planning process and will allow Berry Dunn to hear from us on our vision for the future of DuPage. It is imperative that as many board members attend the session as possible. I will send out a formal invitation by the end of this week with this information. I truly appreciate everyone's participation thus far and am looking forward to all of us working together on this future strategic plan.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for the work that you've been doing. It's been allowing everybody to have a voice, and I encourage everybody to be there at 12 o'clock and we will have lunch. Okay, technology and Member Yu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For my tech committee update, I wanted to let you know that Cybersecurity Month is coming up in October. KnowBe4 and NACO have created some easy and useful learning materials to keep security at the top of our mind in the coming month. So for our staff and users, be on the lookout for emails with tips and information from our IT department. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Member Yu. And Transportation, Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to congratulate you on presenting your first and balanced budget. Good news. I also want to thank you for the $500,000 allocated for sidewalks and light installation in the Willowbrook neighborhood. This is the beginning of our commitment toward improving the quality of life in this neighborhood. So I appreciate that. Otherwise, I move to approve DTR 008123, awarding resolution to Mead Incorporated for the 2024-25 traffic signal and streetlight maintenance at various locations within DuPage County for an estimated county cost of $4,985,225.41 for lowest responsible bid.
It has been moved and seconded. It is moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ozog.
Yes.
Rutledge.
Yes.
Shorzy.
Aye.
Tornatori.
Aye.
You.
Aye.
Zay.
Aye.
Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galasi.
Aye.
Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. And LaPlante.
Okay, Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 008223, an intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the City of Darien to replace the existing retaining wall and fencing along the south side right-of-way of County Highway 31 Plainfield Road from Cass Avenue to Linden Avenue. Estimated county cost $187,500.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ozog.
Yes.
Rutledge.
Yes.
Shorzy.
Aye.
Tornatori.
Aye.
You.
Aye.
Zay.
Aye.
Cahill. Chaplin. Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart.
Aye.
Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galasi.
Aye.
Garcia. Guston.
Aye.
Krajewski. And LaPlante.
Okay, Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 008323, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Illinois Department of Transportation for improvements along Illinois 56 22nd Street from Illinois 59 to York Road with a total estimated cost of engineering and construction of $16,044,966 and an estimated county cost of $187,402.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTCO 004523, amendment to purchase order 6279 serve issued to Peterbilt, Illinois Joliet, doing business as JX Truck Center to furnish and deliver Cummins engine repair and parts as needed for the Department of Transportation to increase the encumbrance in the amount of $30,000, resulting in an amended contract total amount of $59,900, an increase of 100.33%.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Oh, wrong page. Forgive me. Okay, I move for approval of DTP 009723, recommendation for the approval of a contract to HBK Engineering LLC to provide professional surveying, underground locating and marking services, and subsurface utility engineering services for the contract total not to exceed $500,000, professional services vetted through a qualification-based selection process in compliance with the Local Government Professional Services Selection Act.
Leave is granted.
Thank you. I finally move for approval of 23-3007, amendment to resolution DTP 001A21 issued to Lakeside International LLC to increase the funding in the amount of $30,000, resulting in an amended contract total amount of $210,000, an increase of 16.67%.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Ozog.
Thank you.
Okay, on to discussion. Is there any further discussion on 23-3086? Okay, seeing none. Oh, darn.
Yeah,
Member
we've gone like many
Kajewski,
years with. I know, we've gone like several years without discussion.
what do you got to say?
Well, I was saying this local government wage increase transparency, the Transparency Act, this is only good for non-union employees. Am I right? And so
Correct.
Springfield told us we don't have to put the union ones on here. So when we have the admin one, it gets a little retention payout for a small dollar amount. We have to put it on here for discussion. But when the union person that makes 3 times the amount, we don't have to even discuss it or show it as transparency. And I know that's Springfield doing that, but and I raised this issue several years ago, all the time, but can we just put everybody on here as a county? Can we put all our people on here to really be transparent? I'm serious about that. I mean,
That's okay.
I was mad about this when they did it
Very
years
important
ago.
question.
They say we only have to put non-union people on there for transparency, but we don't have to be transparent for the union ones. That comes out of Springfield.
Very good question. Absolutely. And this is because of a Springfield legislation. It explicitly says, union are exempted. However, we'll work with the state's attorney. If that's the will of the board, we can move toward putting everybody on as long as it doesn't violate the legislation.
Right, I know we're not.
So we can examine that and we can get back to you.
Because I raised this issue years ago. Why do we only have to be transparent to the non-union people? We don't have to put our union people on here. We should be transparent to everybody.
We need to just look at the legislation and verify that we can.
Because I think if non-home rule communities can do it, we should put everybody on there. I thought.
Okay, thank you. Important question. Okay, we're on to old business. Okay, hold on. Okay, Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair. My apologies, I didn't give this during my environmental, but I just wanted to give you an update on the trash hauler survey. We are still getting a lot of responses since Saturday. We've gotten 44 more responses. And I would say overall, most people are in favor of this. I've had one community that was neutral, one was strongly opposed, but the general consensus is that people want to see, at least let us ask the question about service cost, improved service. So keep encouraging those unincorporated people to answer the survey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Member Rutledge. Thank you for the work on that and for emphasizing the importance for the environment. Member Chaplin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your budget presentation today. And I did kind of want to touch on your comments under public comment. So there are so many people feeling frustration about the lack of communication from our sheriff. And I know he does not report to us, But even if he can just reach out to the family of Reginald Meadows and talk with them privately, if he can't give it out publicly. You know, and shootings all the time. The sheriff's out there giving a press conference that day, the next day, they're keeping people up to date. And I understand there's privacy and there's things with the investigation that they don't want to expose. But, you know, just something, because I know that many of us have felt that frustration with this too. So, you know, I would encourage him if at a minimum to reach out to that family if he has not done so. So thank you.
Thank you. Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would also like to address the members of our community that were here during public comment. This is the southeast part of DuPage County that was affected by the mass shooting over Father's Day weekend. I wanted to pass on my condolences to the widow of Reginald Meadows, and also say that we have been working very diligently to get resources to that community. And one thing that, you know, it's a technical thing, but I hear a lot of Willowbrook. I saw Willowbrook on their t-shirts. This is actually unincorporated DuPage County. This is not the village of Willowbrook. And, you know, when people say they're disappointed in their mayor, that the mayor of Willowbrook is not the mayor of this community. We are the city council and the mayor of this community. So we do care. We do want to, we have some really good things that we're working on. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Evans. Anybody else? Anything that they want to say? Okay, and our work continues in Willowbrook Corners. I understand your frustration, Member Chaplin. I also have spent a lot of time encouraging the sheriff to communicate with the community. And I thank the members of this board who have put in a lot of time, effort, and deep care for this community. We will continue that. Okay, old business. Member Garcia.
Well, it's new business, right? We're on new business?
Whatever you'd like.
Okay. Okay. Member Rutledge and I had the opportunity yesterday to attend the an event put on by Northern Illinois Food Bank yesterday morning. It was a poverty simulation event. And if you want to be stressed out, that is what you need to do, because you are actually assigned to be a different family and you have to figure out how to find work, how to find food, how to find social services, all within a month, and keep yourself not being hungry, or if you wear a "I'm hungry" sign around you, or get evicted like poor member Rutledge did. She got evicted from her home. I cannot tell you how valuable the lessons were in this. And I think Julie Yurko, I talked to her, she's the president and CEO of Northern Illinois Food Bank afterward. And she would love to bring this to the county, just to have some of our staff and maybe even the electeds go through this, because it is an eye-opening experience on what people who are struggling in the county and all around are dealing with. So I would just maybe bring that up as an idea to maybe bring to the county. So,
okay,
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mayor.
Thank you.
Member Galassi, are you ready? Are you running for mayor?
Since I got promoted. Well, thank you. And back to old business. I do want to reiterate what Member Evans said and what you said. I mean, there is a lot of care and concern for the Willowbrook. Well, and actually, to Member Evans' point, we're not supposed to be calling it that, because it is under our jurisdiction. So that was the other thing that I did want to echo, that this is not the responsibility of Willowbrook. It's our responsibility to take care of these constituents of ours. So, and I did want to also send my condolences to the family. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to the three members of that district, because it was something that you immediately reacted to. And it's something this board should be very proud of. And many of the rest of you, if not all of you, also contributed your concern and commitment to making sure that we do what we need to support this community. Just briefly, I just want to thank each and every one of you. As my first budget speech was delivered, this is a lot different work for me than it was at the state. And it is a joy and a privilege to be able to work bipartisanly to do what's best for this community and our county. So it's a real privilege, and thank you. Everybody deserves a lot of credit. And to the staff, it's hard to find the words 9 months, and you have made my ability to be successful amazing, and a privilege to work with each and every one of you. So thank you all very much. Okay, any old business? Whether that was new or old, I'm not sure. Member Garcia, you kind of changed the agenda for us. Okay, I'm informed we do not have matters before us requiring executive session. And I'd like to take a motion to adjourn. Okay, all in favor? Okay, this meeting is adjourned. This meeting of the September session is adjourned until Tuesday, October 10th, 2023 at 10 a.m.
Budgets say that they have to be approved in September session.
Okay.
So years ago, when we started getting on it, like, September session continues.